विद्या से जाने जाते हैं। उन सब का आदि मूल परमेश्वर है।
The first principle. God is the primary cause of all spiritual and physical sciences, and of everything known through their means.
द्वितीय नियम, ईश्वर सच्चिद आनंद स्वरूप निराकार सर्वशक्तिमान न्यायकारी दयालु अजन्मा अनंत निर्विकार अनादि अनुपम सर्वदार सर्वेश्वर सर्वव्यापक सर्वांतर्यामी अजर अमर अभय नित्य पवित्र और सृष्टि करता है, उसी की उपासना करनी योग्य है।
The second principle. God is existent, intelligent, and blissful. He is formless, omnipotent, just kind, unborn, endless, unchangeable, beginless, unequal, the support of all, the Lord of all, omnipresent, immanent, unaging, immortal, fearless, eternal, holy, and the creator of the universe. He alone should be communed with.
तृतीय नियम, वेद सब सत्य विद्याओं का पुस्तक है। वेद का पढ़ना पढ़ाना सुनना सुनाना सब आर्यों का परम धर्म है।
The third principle. Veda is the scripture of all true knowledge. Reading, teaching, hearing, and reciting the Veda is the first duty of all Aryans.
चतुर्थ नियम, सत्य को ग्रहण करने और असत्य को छोड़ने में सर्वदा उद्यत रहना चाहिए।
The fourth principle. One should always be prepared to accept truth and reject falsehood.
पंचम नियम, सब काम धर्मानुसार अर्थात सत्य और असत्य को विचार करके करना चाहिए।
The fifth principle. All work should be done in keeping with righteousness, that is, after due reflection over right and wrong.
षष्ठ नियम, संसार का उपकार करना इस समाज का मुख्य उद्देश्य है, अर्थात शारीरिक, आत्मिक और सामाजिक उन्नति करना।
The sixth principle. To do good to the whole world is the main object of this Samaj. That is, to improve the physical, spiritual, and social states of human experience.
सप्तम नियम, सबसे प्रीतिपूर्वक धर्मानुसार यथा योग्य बरतना चाहिए।
The seventh principle. One should have dealings with all in accordance with love, law, and propriety.
अष्टम नियम, अविद्या का नाश और विद्या के वृद्धि करनी चाहिए।
The eighth principle. One should always promote knowledge and dispel ignorance.
नवम नियम, प्रत्येक को अपनी है उन्नति में संतुष्ट न रहना चाहिए, किंतु सबकी उन्नति में अपनी उन्नति समझनी चाहिए।
The ninth principle. No one should remain content with his or her own prosperity. Individual prosperity should be considered in prosperity of all.
दशम नियम, सब मनुष्यों को सामाजिक सर्वहितकारी नियम पालने में परतंत्र रहना चाहिए और प्रत्येक हितकारी नियम में सब स्वतंत्र रहे।
The 10th principle. Everyone should be bound with following altruistic social rules. However, in matters relating to personal welfare, let all be free.
Namaste.
I have no knowledge of Hindi, but I've been hearing these principles for the last year. And I believe what I heard from Charlotte is what I've been hearing from the Hindi speakers. So I believe it was excellent reading today, and we need to give them a big round of applause. This is our future for Area Spiritual Center, these young children, and we need to continue to encourage them. So I want to thank Pandita Nirvaniji for coaching Charlotte and Annabelle in these readings. Thank you very much. And she said she didn't have to do much. Annabelle has been doing this on her own Charlotte has been doing this on her own for a while. I've heard her in the Thursday class. Thank you, Charlotte and Annabelle. To continue with today's program, we're going to have a message from Pandita Deviji on volunteering. I think it's the month, and she will give you more information.
Namaste, all of you again. Your humble ears is always ready for my loud voice, I hope. So this morning, this month, as we are here in October, we've come through many celebrations throughout the year, and as September is gone and October here is us, we know there's lots of things that were celebrated, lots of our festivals, special days, and all these are moments that we should reflect, recollect, group ourselves, and know where we should be for the rest of the year as winter is coming. And there's so many things that the Arya Samaj, the mantras, the Ved, all our scriptures have given us so much instructions on our social and mental well-being. How about here in the United States, we know that every month there are 5 or 6 celebrations, little things that goes on. It's a special day for Sunday, it's a special week for sons, it's a special week for daughters. And every month, if we go on beside our Hindu calendar, we can celebrate lots of American things that are also in line with our beliefs. And this month is volunteer month. October is volunteer month. And it's a big thing throughout US. If you've seen some organization, maybe your companies, your workplace have asked you to go out and volunteer. How many of you do volunteer? I live in a community, thank you, by Dion. I live in a community here and far away, 215 miles. And it's run by volunteerism. Many things from our children at school to our elderly support. It's all done through volunteerism. And here at the Mandir, all of our work is done through what? Volunteerism. Nobody gets paid or, sometimes a stipend is given for appreciation, but it's still volunteer work. And our verses, our prayers, our mantras stress that we do good to others. Others meaning animals and all other species that's surviving or enjoying this cosmos with us. So my call to you today is, please, many of us in our early years, 30, 40 years ago, we didn't have the time to volunteer. We were building our lives. But if you have the time, go to your school or a daycare center. Daycare centers have children who need to be cuddled. They even have, New York State has a place that you can go sign up to go cuddle children. The hospital have a place to sign up just to cuddle some children who are desperate or who doesn't have anything to hold on to. That's for the young children. Anywhere you can go and sign up. Right here in the schools in your neighborhood, our children go through transformations, especially the one who comes from Guyana. Sometimes getting them acclimated into the school with the teachers and concepts like we are told not to look directly in the eye. But at school, the teacher wants you to look directly in the eye. So there's adjustment from the community they come from and the community they're living in. And that is also one way for us to start to go out and volunteer and maybe build our later membership, see growth somewhere. So volunteerism is a big aspect of Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj, when it was founded, it wasn't done just, corporate style done, let's do this. No, it was people who came together to make others, and it was people who taught others, who took the time to nurture what I know, to let water the seeds of your thinking so you can grow. Volunteerism should be the second to what we come to. Volunteerism and coming to Mandir should be that peer, like that dedication. My humble appeal is, we have here in the Samaj, the Mahila group that you can volunteer with. We have here in the Samaj, the maintenance group that you can volunteer with. The cleanup group that you can volunteer with. And volunteer is the best sewa you can do. Feeding someone, helping someone, and that's the most gifted aspect of it. Okay, so my humble appeal, find a place. If you need some place, I can recommend you places here in the city to go volunteer. If you need somewhere, or even, let's all as seniors here now, volunteer to come one day to the Mandir and just make ourselves a little moment that we can share and expand our mind besides Sunday services. So again, let's see how many of you are willing to volunteer, because I can start something right here where we all go to. Who has time on their hands would like to volunteer with me once a week visiting sick people? None? Okay, I'll try next time. Thank you, and thank you for your listening here. Right in our community, so many needy elderlies are there. So take the time, make the time, and get out and volunteer in some way. Do the sewa. Thank you and namaste.
Thank you, Pandita Devi, for giving us this timely reminder of the goodness of offering our services voluntarily. Hopefully we can start right here in the Mandir, and then we can move outside of the community. To continue, we're going to have our very talented young Purohit ji, Niraj, to do an item for us.
Namaste. This morning I'll be singing Hey Jagat Pita Bhagavan. It's on page 103 in the Atma Geet. It says, O Lord, Father of this universe, give me knowledge. You are my loving Lord, my sole support. Hey Jagat Pita Bhagavan, हमें दो ज्ञान तू ईश्वर प्यारा दुनिया में एक सहारा हे जगत पिता भगवान हमें दो ज्ञान तू ईश्वर प्यारा दुनिया में एक सहारा बचपन में होश न आया है जीवन में पाप कमाया है। बचपन में होश न आया है, जीवन में पाप कमाया है। अब जाऊं कहाँ, विषयों ने मुझको मारा। अब जाऊं कहाँ, विषयों ने मुझको मारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा, हे जगत पिता भगवान, हमें दो जान, तू ईश्वर प्यारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा। दिल मेरा तो यह कहता है, तू मन मंदिर में रहता है। दिल मेरा तो यह कहता है, तू मन मंदिर में रहता है। दिन रात भटकता रहा मैं दर दर मारा। दिन रात भटकता रहा मैं दर दर मारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा, हे जगत पिता भगवान, हमें दो जान, तू ईश्वर प्यारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा। पापों से भगवन हमें बचा, वेदों का सच्चा भक्त बना। पापों से भगवन हमें बचा, वेदों का सच्चा भक्त बना। पाखंड झूठ से सब ही करे किनारा। पाखंड झूठ से सब ही करे किनारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा, हे जगत पिता भगवान, हमें दो जान, तू ईश्वर प्यारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा। दुनिया में एक सहारा।
Melodiously done, as always. Thank you, Purohit Niraji. And now we have another of our young Varangana who is becoming very active in our weekly satsang. Today, we'd like to call on Maya Madhu. Oh, Karuna? Okay. Karuna Madhu Ji, who will do her presentation.
Namaste. My presentation today is on Rani Lakshmi Bai, Queen of Jhansi. Rani Lakshmi Bai was born on the 19th of November, 1828, in the town of Varanasi. She was named Manikarnika Tambe and was nicknamed Manu. Rani Lakshmi Bai was educated at home. She was able to read and write and was more independent in her childhood than others of her age. Her studies included shooting, horsemanship, and fencing. which contrasted with the cultural expectations for women in Indian society at the time. But at the age of 14, she was married to the Maharaj of Jhansi. After her marriage, she was called Lakshmi Bai. Rani Lakshmi Bai was known for her outstanding bravery. She was an important name in the freedom struggle against the British. Rani Lakshmi Bai fought against the British for several reasons, including 1. Annexation of her kingdom, 2. Refusal to recognize her adopted son, and 3. British expansion. She died on the battlefield at the age of 29. Rani Lakshmi Bai goes against many particular cultural expectations for women in India's society at the time. She was known for her unique perspectives and her courage to fight against social norms, even in front of the whole society. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Karuna, for that very informative piece of information, empowering us women. And remember that today's satsang is brought to you by the Mahela Women Empowering Women. Thank you, Karuna. Now we'll have Pai Rajan to give us a rendition.
Namaste, everyone. Too low. Play that again. Please feel free to join along in this bhajan. It's on page 49 and 50 of the Atma Geet. Chanchal mananit om japakar. Chanchal mananit om japakar. Om japakar om. Om japakar om. चंचल मन नित ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम पल पल छिन छिन घरी घरी निश दिन पल पल छिन छिन घरी घरी निश दिन ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर चंचल मन नित ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर प्रात समय की सुख बेला में संध्या की पुलकित रजनी में प्रात समय की सुख बेला में संध्या की पुलकित रजनी में रोम रोम से निकले तेरे रोम रोम से निकले तेरे ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर चंचल मन नित्य ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर गहरा सागर तूती नैया गहरा सागर तूती नैया जीवन तरनी ओम खिवैया गहरा सागर तूती नैया जीवन तरनी ओम खिवैया पार करेंगे ओ पार करेंगे ओ मज पाकर ओ मज पाकर ओ मज पाकर चंचल मन को ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर ओम जपा कर पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निश दिन पल पल छिन छिन घड़ी घड़ी निश दिन ओम जपा कर 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 ओम जपा कर
Indeed, in this manner to have such talent. Thank you to by Rajan ji and by Deepak ji. What a pair. Thank you very much. And now we have our president, Bhai Sohan, to do the announcements for today.
Thank you and namaste. Let's give a round of applause for our Sabapati. Thank you very much. Good job. Thank you, Pandita Nirvani, thank you for tapping into our resources, and hopefully we can have many more, coming up here. Sometimes we are all nervous, but we have to make that effort. So, great job. Before I go into the announcement, I want to thank Pandita Devi for a very profound message this morning talking about volunteering. And with that said, our mandir is short of that, right? So even in the mornings, when we come here, we need people to help in setting up the Vedi. And after we finish with Havan, then we need members, people to help with tidying up and making it ready for next Sunday. So thank you very much, Pandita Devi, for that message. I lost my Diwali Okay, I have it. So every Sunday we reach here at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. for Hawan. And, for those who cannot be here in person, we encourage you to be here in person. We'll prefer to have you here in person. But if you cannot, then you can join us online via YouTube and Facebook every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Every Thursday night at 8 p.m., we have our Zoom Satsang classes under the guidance of Pandit Deepak Ramanji. And again, I encourage all of us to join. The messages are great, the sessions are great. And if you'd like to participate, then please contact Pandit Deepak Ji for more information. If you'd like to be more involved in our mandir, we invite you to join our Mahila Sabha, our women's group. Our Mahila Sabha is an integral part of who we are here at our spiritual center. And for more information, we can conduct, or you can contact Pandita Nirvani Ji. If you or a loved one, any members of your family would like to observe or celebrate an important milestone, whether it be a birthday, wedding, anniversary, punya tithi, graduation, or any other appropriate observance, you can contact any members of our executive, and we will gladly have you joining in satsang in the Sunday mornings. If you wish to have a private function for your observance or celebration, our mandir is available for rental. We have all amenities you need to have a comfortable and memorable experience at an affordable cost. Please reach out to a member of our executive committee or send us an email in advance to rspiritualcenter@gmail.com. And now for our upcoming programs and events. We were just reminded early on that there is a Gandhi Peace March that's being held today at 1 p.m. And that march begins at Liberty Avenue and 114th Street. That's at 1 p.m. And that march goes to 128th Street. And that's today at 1 p.m. And again, it's a Gandhi Peace March. The other important event that we have on our calendar is the observance or celebration of Deepavali. Deepavali will be celebrated on October the 31st. That's not Thursday coming, but the following Thursday. And so we will be having a 4 sessions yajna. And that will commence on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at Mandir. We will have the Friday night, which commences at 7 p.m., Saturday night, 7 p.m., and then it concludes on Sunday, 9 a.m., Sunday meaning November the 3rd. So, in observance of Deepavali, we also, the yajna will be in observance of Rishi Nirwan Divas, and also this year, our spiritual center is celebrating its 40th anniversary. So our yajna will be in celebration of Deepavali, observance of Rishi Nirvan Divas, and our 40th year anniversary. So that's our main event, and that's later this month. We have no other major events until December, and then of course we will inform you of that. We hopefully will get our flyers for Deepavali so we can share it around. We want this to be grand. And so outside of our members being encouraged to attend, we like, well-wishers and outsiders to also be part of that yajna. Talking about volunteering, we need to do some work here to have our mandir physically prepared to observe Deepavali. I will reach out to some members. We need to do lighting in front. We need to do some more lighting inside, cleaning, and so on. All right. So that's for that event. Donations, as we say every week, our mandir depends on your generous donations to have us take care of all our expenses. And so the work we do here at Area Spiritual Center for the cause of our Dharma would not be possible without your continued support. Donations can be offered in cash, by check, through PayPal or Zelle, via our email address, ariaspiritualcenter@gmail.com, and the word center is spelled with R-E. If you like, again, volunteering, if you like to offer your sewa by assisting with cleaning or kitchen duties here at Mandir, or by volunteering at our events, please reach out to myself, Hai Suhan Singh, in whatever way you would like to volunteer, so we can carry on the work of this Samaj. That's the announcements for today. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, Bhai Sohanji, for the announcements. And we know that our satsangs are incomplete without our pravachan. And today, to do us the pravachan, we will have no other than Pandita Nirvaniji.
Testing one.
Thank you, and sorry about the commotion. I hope that's not a sign. Thank you, Bahan Kamla. Pandita Devi, Pandits, Mataji, Pitaji, Bhayo, Baheno, Bache, Namaste. I'm thankful for this opportunity this morning to share this message with you. And I ask you to please sit comfortably and join me in this prayer. And if you're looking at home too, please join us in this prayer. Om Bhurabhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Prachodaya. O Supreme Being, cause of all manifestations in the universe, source of existence, intelligence, and bliss, we meditate upon your adorable nature. May you illumine and inspire our intellect. This morning, I pray that our minds, mine and yours, are on the same wavelength at this time, so that we can all gain something from this message. And I ask for humility in presenting this message. If I make any errors, I'm asking ahead of time, please forgive me. As we move forward in life, we acquire things. Would you agree with me? What are two ways that we acquire? Method of acquisition, by working. So we acquire materially and we acquire intellectually. Those are the two ways. And we acquire materially, a home, car, computers, And we also acquire relations. You know, these are things that we can touch, we can feel, and these are things that we form attachments or bonds with. And we also acquire intellectually, and this, of course, is not physical, it's not tangible. Today's message is on balancing these acquisitions because we know at the end of this journey, we leave all the material things behind. It is inevitable to acquire relations. It's just the nature of birth. You know, you're born, you have a mother, that your mother has a mother, and her mother has siblings, and so on. And you know, the chain goes on. So familial acquisition is inevitable. And then as we grow and we move out into the world, we form additional bonds. We have school friends, then we start to work, and we have co-workers. We come to Mandir, we have a Mandir family. And we increase this, this network. With the increase of this network, and you know, as we get older and these bonds become deeper, we form stronger emotional bonds. And in some relationships, we'll do anything to keep these bonds from breaking. Do you agree? I mean, like, you know, if you're in a marriage or something like that, you'll do everything to keep that bond between each other. Now, this was, I know Rajin is going to have some comment at the back. This was Arjun's dilemma in the Bhagavad Gita. Before the battle of the Mahabharata began, Arjun asked Sri Krishna, and you know, Sri Krishna was his charioteer, and he said, take me to the middle of the battlefield. He wanted to see who he was up against in that battle. On the opposite side, there was the Kauravas. He saw Bhishma, Dronacharya, his cousins and uncles, all of them relatives and friends. These were the people that he would be fighting against. He stopped and he said, how can I fight these people? These are my relatives. These are my friends. And he said to Sri Krishna, and I'll ask somebody to play for me for a little bit. And this shloka is taken from the first chapter. It's the 28th verse of the Gita. Drishtvaimam swajanam Krishna yuyuksum samupashtitam Siranti mama gatrani mukham cha parishusyati mukham cha parishusyati. O Krishna, seeing my own kinsmen arrayed for battle here and intent on killing each other, my limbs are weak and giving way, and my mouth is dry. At that moment, Arjun looked over the other side and he started to mentally recount how he was related to each of these fighters on the Kauravas side. And he began putting up resistance and started to rationalize why he should not be fighting these people. They were all related to him. And he said to Sri Krishna, it would be a sin for me to kill my own cousins, the sons of Dhritarashtra. His emotional attachments to this physical family clouded his reasoning. This was a moment of physical existence for Arjun. And it was that in that moment, he was unable to see beyond the physical and could not perform his spiritual responsibility. We are more than this physical body and familial attachments. And I know this is not something that we can fathom right now because we're so involved in these relationships that we're in. But when we pass on from this world, we leave these physical relations behind. All of these material things is left in this physical realm. And that brings me to the other part. We do accumulate wealth, don't we? I mean, is it okay to accumulate wealth? Would you say it's okay to accumulate material things? No? Mataji says no. You know, it differs. It differs on how you look at it. But personally, I think it's okay. I think it's okay to accumulate material things, and especially in the time and place that we live. Once it's acquired by honest means, I don't think there's any harm. And in some cases, I think it's necessary. And I'll use myself as an example. I live in Queens, and the headquarters for my job is in New Jersey. So when I'm going in, I have a 2-hour commute each way. I need a car. And I have to have something. I have to have a decent car. I have to have something that's reliable. And most likely, that's going to be a newer car. And I'm going to pick something that's handsome looking. So we have earned the privilege to nice things. But how willing am I to separate from these material things? And we can start that separation by sharing our wealth and sharing our earnings, whatever you choose to characterize it as, wealth. Some people think their income is wealth, and I agree with that. And Pandita Devi talked about volunteering, and it ties so perfectly well into today's topic. And this mantra from the Rig Veda talks about sharing. Mavo datram murto nirama ma paschat dhatma ratho vibhage anahas pare bhajatana vasvyan yadim sujatam vrasato vashti sujatam vrasajo vashti. O dynamic explorers, creators and distributors, masters of chariot, never shall we stop you from giving, and never shall we be left behind in sharing. O generous powers, whatever your wealth, irrespective of the value of your wealth, whether it's worthy of life or peace, let us share with you. And this mantra highlights that we should all engage in sharing, and regardless of how much we have, how much we consider wealth, if it's $5 or $5 million or how much ever, let's all be willing to share. And I'm not so sure if any of you followed the news in India. It was about a week and a half ago on 9th of October, was the passing of Ratan Tata. And he was one of the owners of the Tata Group. You know, the Tata industry, they have a number of different corporations. And if you do a Google search of him, his net worth at the time of his passing was $291 billion, US dollars. And I checked because, I got a little confused with the numbers. It was 200 and 9 zeros behind. And he was a philanthropist, and his philosophy was that sharing your wealth to improve society is vital. He was always committed to parting with a significant portion of his wealth toward charitable causes. In fact, 66% of his profit was put aside in a trust for education, for healthcare, and for other social causes. What does that do for you, giving up more than you're keeping for yourself? I mean, when I examine it and when I think about it, by sharing that much, it helps someone to relinquish ownership of that wealth. And that's part of the process and the beginning process of being able to part with these material things as we move on. And what struck me when I was looking at videos of his funeral and his last rites, his casket was a simple wooden casket. And you know, the transportation that they were taking his body, whether it's to the cemetery or for at the cremation site, it was a minivan. I mean, here we have these huge horse, and it's shiny and it's a distinguished vehicle. That's not the case. And I think it's a norm in India that it's very simple. But I'm thinking a billionaire, I would expect him to be going out in this, you know, this very elaborate vehicle. No, not the case. It was very simple. The most elaborate thing about his funeral procession was the white garlands that draped the sides of the minivan that was taking him. And this was such a contrast for me because, you know, I'm thinking, look at the simplicity of his funeral compared to the wealth that he amassed during his life. And that's a reminder that this material acquisition, whatever we acquire, stays here in this physical realm. It doesn't go with us. And this is a perfect segue into the other part, the last part of this message. And this is about intellectual acquisition or knowledge. We chanted the Gayatri mantra at the beginning of this message. And in Sandhya, we chant the Gayatri mantra 3 times. In Havan, we also chant this mantra 3 times. And every time we chant this mantra, we're asking, O Supreme Being, please illumine and inspire our intellect. And we know our intellect differentiates us from animals. The animals, they operate on instinct. What is intellect? And I took this definition from Wikipedia, so don't blame me. Intellect is the ability of the human mind to reach correct conclusions about what is true and what is false in reality, and includes capabilities such as reasoning, conceiving, judging, and relating. What is the relationship between intellect and knowledge? We have the ability to learn, to acquire knowledge, and we have the capability to use reasoning to process this knowledge to come to rational conclusions. The more we learn, the more we develop our intellect, and we should always be immersed, and we should always immerse ourselves in seeking knowledge. And there's this mantra that I found in the Yajurveda, and it talks about surrounding yourself with light, which we equate to knowledge in Sanatan Dharma. Aha ketuna jussatam sujotir jyotisa Ratrihi ketuna jussatam sujyotirjyotisa. Ratrihi ketuna jussatam sujyotirjyotisa. Jussatam sujyotirjyotisa. And this mantra says, in the day, in our wakeful state, may our soul be connected with light, of course, knowledge. May this light be joined with that divine light. In the night, in our state of dream and sleep, may our soul be connected with light, knowledge. And may this light be joined with that divine light. This mantra is asking that may our souls always be surrounded by light or knowledge, irrespective of time of day, irrespective of our state, whether we're awake, whether we're asleep. May our soul always be surrounded by knowledge. I don't know, have you ever gone to bed with a problem that you couldn't find a solution for before you went to bed? And you're trying everything and you were not able to find a solution. Went to sleep, and in the morning you woke up with a solution. I know that's happened to me multiple times, and I'm sure it's happened to you too. Do you think that's evidence that we're surrounded by knowledge even in our state of sleep or dream? I feel the same way. Of all our acquisitions, knowledge is not tangible. It's not physical. We can't feel it. We can't see it, but it impacts us. And because it's not tangible and it's not material, there's nothing to detach from. The knowledge I acquire cannot be left in this physical realm when I move on. Did you ever hear about or come in contact with a young genius? And have you ever wondered, why is this 3-year-old or why is this 5-year-old so much ahead of their peer by years? I don't know how many of us have heard about Shakuntala Devi. Yes, Indian born. And my mom was telling me about, she actually went to, when Shakuntala came to Guyana, my mom actually was there and had the experience with her. She was a mathematical prodigy, and she was dubbed a math whiz or human computer. Why was she so much smarter than her peers? So this is my theory, and if I'm wrong, I apologize, but this is how I rationalize it. The knowledge that I absorb while I'm here now stays with my consciousness and moves with that soul that's in me. And when my physical body no longer exists, whatever consciousness is on my soul stays there. And the next body that this soul is assigned to has an intellectual jumpstart, so to speak. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that's Mataji. Or you have more words on this than maybe another class of children. Exactly. And with that consciousness increases on that soul. Thank you, Mataji. Ahaketuna jussutam sujotir jyotisa. Ratrihi ketuna jussutam sujotir jyotisa. In the day, in our wakeful state, may my soul be connected with light, and may this light be joined with the divine light. In the night, in my dream and my state of sleep, may my soul be connected with light, and may this light be joined with that divine light. May our souls always be connected with light or knowledge. Like with any material acquisition, we are responsible for sharing knowledge, for any knowledge that we acquire. And if those 10 principles are repeated every Sunday, and there's one of that principle that says we have to share what we learn, because the development of my community lies in the development of one individual. So I want to take this time to say special thanks to all the pundits of Arya Spiritual Center, and any other pundit or individual who was willing and who freely shared their knowledge with me. And a special thanks to Pandit Deepak Ji, because I was having some trouble with the translation of a Sanskrit mantra. I didn't use that mantra today, but without any hesitation, Pandit Deepak Ji, he went out of his way to try to help me with that translation. And I just want to end today's message by telling you, be mindful of the knowledge, be mindful of what you surround yourself with. Surround yourself with knowledge, and remember the process that, we're responsible for taking the knowledge we learn and processing that knowledge in a useful way. With that, I would like to thank you for this opportunity. I thank you for being patient and tolerant as I shared my message today. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste.
A profound and realistic message from Pandita Nirvaniji for all of us who had questions about acquiring wealth and how we share our wealth. We can always rest assured that we never leave here hungry, and we never leave here without a wealth of spiritual knowledge. But all good things must come to an end. And before we close today's satsang, I want to express thanks to the Mahela for coordinating and executing this program today. I also want to thank you, the audience, for engaging and participating in today's satsang. Thanks to the producers. I think we had a number of them today. And I think we have been overlooking someone who comes to our mandir very often. I'm not sure he's invited, but he's here on many Sundays. Our flute player, Mr. Haroon Rashid. Thank you very much for coming and playing your flute so beautifully for us. Thanks to all those who prepared Bochan, or whatever way you have assisted in making today's satsang a success. Thank you. And to close today's program, I'm going to ask Purohit Niraji to lead us in Aarti and closing Pratna. Thank you and Namaste.
May we all stand for Arati Bhajan.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Bhakt Jano ke Sangat Bhakt Jano ke Sangat Kshan mein dur kare Om Jai Jagadish Hare जो ध्यावे फल पावे दुख विन से मन का स्वामी दुख विन से मन का सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। विषय विकार मिटाओ, पाप हरो देवा, स्वामी पाप हरो देवा। श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, श्रद्धा भक्ति बढ़ाओ, संतन की सेवा। ओम जय जगदीश हरे। जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्त जनों के संकट, भक्त जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे, ओम जय जगदीश हरे। अथ शांति पाठः। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः, पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिः, रोषधयः शान्तिः, वनस्पतयः शान्तिः, विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः, सर्वं शान्तिः। शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। प्रेम से बोलो ओमकार भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम श्री रामचंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो योगेश्वर श्री कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। प्रेम से बोलो महर्षि स्वामी दयानंद की जय। प्रेम से बोलो वेदा माता की जय। प्रेम से बोलो वैदिक सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। भोजन मंत्र। ओम अनपते ननस्य नो देहि, अनमिवस्य शुष्मिनः प्रप्रदातारं तारेश ऊर्जन्नो देहि, द्विपदे चतुष्पदे। ओम शांति शांति शांति। नमस्ते ओम।
Here, Diwali night, Thursday, next Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Okay. No, Diwali, 31st. Diwali night, after Diwali night, Friday night.